All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Indianapolis Colts. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 7, Wentz, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
82. Alpha. Come on, dude.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
At their own 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They run on 1st down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Paul bringing it in. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. He got 29 yards that time.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Antonio Callaway, his 9th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Wentz going to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Wentz to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go. High 7, let's go. Mark 9. You ain't going nowhere. Mike's 59. Mike's 59. What happened?
2nd and 5. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Back to throw. Cruz. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Here's second and 10 now from the 35.
Go. You ain't doing nothing today. 57's the mic. Watch 57. Yards. Yo.
Now Cruz to throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Maurice Hurst forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards.
It's now third down.
Come on, set. 10 Lobo. Check. Go on. 15. Ready.
Off the play fake. Cruz. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got one touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. A good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. They'll run on first down. Golden. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Check 31.
On second down, Golden. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Wentz. He gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident that the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Flush to his right. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports.
Right here, right go. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
Cruz now from the gun on third down. And Thomas has it. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the third down play.
First down. First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Here we go. Set. 60 out wide. Cut. Smoke.
Here's Cruz. Off play action. Going deep for Diggs. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Second and 4 at the 26-yard line.
The last run got 6, now second and 4.
Touchdown, defense. Great. Rush in, rush in, rush in.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
On first down, Golden. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a second and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 41, Wentz. And he will find his man on the outside. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Second and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. From midfield, here's Wentz. And this is caught. It's Parker. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. The Colts on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try the left side. It's Paul, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield. Elsewhere on the NFL scoreboard in Dallas, it's the Chargers out to an early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion in the field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did up...
That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 34. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing. Change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check it back, check it back. 37. Sunday. 198. Watch that.
Throwing now is Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Here we go, G.
Now Cruz to throw on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Paul. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
At the 32-yard line.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Cruz throwing on 1st down. And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. Picked off at the 49. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
He's going to fire one deep left side. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. An excellent gain, 35 yards. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now they're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
They'll run on first down. Golden. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check. Crunch.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the Colts pick it up. So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Yeah, baby. That's our ball. Our ball.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
It's a safety creek.
They'll try the left side. Golden. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
We go set. 90 Wolf. Switch. Get.
On 2nd down now. Bernard. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
Set up. 50. Plant. 3. Hey, Foxtrot. Mike 3. 5.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. From 4 yards out. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Instead of the first, he'll have to go backwards for another second down try.
So if there is a silver lining, though, it stays second down, and they still have an opportunity to pick up a first down before they have to start their downs over again.
Heavy on the edges. Switch. 61. Matchbox, light. Ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that would look like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Check 59. Mike is 59.
On first down, Cruz going up top. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the former. First rounder, Trey Waynes. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On first down, Golden. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Second and 3. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Watch the run. Mike 42.
They'll set up a throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken at about the 14. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
Set
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 7 yards there and a first down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
They'll run on first down. It's Paul. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Now Cruz on 1st and 10. Thomas has got it. Complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Out of bounds, just short of midfield.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards.
Check, general.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming.
Brings up 3rd down.
Down. 30 pace. Let's go. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Let up.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
We taking wins home. Ready to go.
Off play action. Cruz. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
57's the mic. 57's the mic. You don't know no better. 57's the mic. Try. Cut up.
Looking to throw. Cruz. And Diggs has it. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Stephon Diggs with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer.
59, Mike. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Switch up, switch up. Set, go. Ready.
Cruz now, operating from the gun toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Tough there, good pass, hit the hands, he just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
You ain't got nothing.
He'll look to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Cruz. Going to throw again. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a 1st down. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter.
Coming to you, coming to you. Hey, check Mike 57.
Now Cruz to throw on 1st down. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Joey Bosa has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Second and long. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Joey Bosa in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
It's now 3rd down.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Mike 57. Watch the out. 57 to Mike. Hurry.
Cruz off the play fake. He gets it to Thomas. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Michael Thomas, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. And now the Colts are going to keep the offense on the field as they'll go for 2 here. Now Cruz from the gun, he'll throw. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6.
Check. Hey, Sam off. Hey, Delta. Down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Hey, lock it. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Go. Be driven.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Ready. 10 Lobo. Back. 22 jet bomber. Bam. Shoot.
They'll keep it on the ground. Coleman. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Squeeze.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field. And that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Check 3.
Now Bernard. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10 at the 45. Now this is Callaway on the receiving end. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. The the Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Back to throw. Cruz. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
You can't block me. Exit. Right there. 54. Right there. 54.
On fourth down, Cruz. Yeah, this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Cruz now, throwing on first down. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
Looking to throw. Cruz. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. Here's Cruz throwing on fourth down. Looking deep downfield. And this is incomplete. The Colts unable to convert here on fourth down. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position.
Come on, set. 18 Gator. Check 26, check 26. Hit it.
On first down, Golden. It was Jaron Reed who got him down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They'll keep it on the ground. Golden. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Like any team, they would have loved to have had more yards on that run, but it looks like they just want to get to the 2-minute warning and see what they want to do after that.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he'll get credit for a punt inside the 20, not by much, but inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Maurice Hurst able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
2nd and 15. Paul bringing it in. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Red, 70 in. 57's a mic. 57's a mic. I got you. Go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Back to throw. Cruz. Throw left side complete. That's Paul. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No.